And we're live. I can see my voice is working. Hello.
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 Good evening, everyone.
I can see your voice is working. All right, good. I don't believe we have a sound issue this time around. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Here we are again. Sigil Confidential. Was this episode 9 of The Silent Goddess? Although we're flip-flopping just to keep you on your toes and make it extra confusing. Well, goodness. I believe you said you had a recap. Would you like to spin us out?
Indeed. Last time on Sigil Confidential and the Cairn Legacy. The crew looked around the inside of the first floor of Volry's spire. Alcoves containing sacrifices from her devout followers lined the walls, but the room seemed relatively empty until Jimmy stepped on a glowing purple tile in the center. Az stepped on a second. Fearing what would happen when they stepped off, Wilhelm fashioned a weight out of a part of his own spirit to keep them weighed down, but it was not enough. The tiles reacted to physical presences, and as Jimmy and Az stepped away, tentacles of shadow attempted to grab all within the vicinity. They avoided being grabbed, but felt their life drained from the contact with the shadows. Moving on, stairs at the other end of the room led downwards, but when they exited onto the second floor, they noticed they had gone up into a room dedicated to Volry's worship. Softly lit by candlelight with the smells of incense and violets filling the air, the room was cozy and comfortable and absent the cold that had plagued them up until this point. Jimmy had a tier of Volry's that the crew found earlier in the labyrinth, and he placed it next to an altar with a raven statue as a devotional offering. An echo of Volry then appeared in the center of the room. In appreciation for the kind offering, she unscrambled the song of the last somnambulist they had encountered and gave them the instruction to find her. At this, they moved on to the third floor, a vast library. Jimmy sat down at a desk to take a breather, but as soon as he glanced at a book on top of it, a curse befell him, and he began to literally unravel, his skin unfurling to reveal bone underneath that then crumbled to dust. Bryn leaped to action, trying every curse removal at her disposal before trying to reverse the effect with the regeneration, and when Istu and Genesis combined managed to place a temporary pause on the curse's effect, the powerful, reality-altering magic of Bryn's wish ended it, which left her weak, but Jimmy was once again whole. What secrets await the crew on the remaining levels of the spire, and can they avoid tripping any more powerful magics? Find out starting right now on Sigil Confidential, the Silent Goddess.
Dun dun dun. Yes.
Got tripped up a little wording there in the middle.
That's perfectly all right. That is perfectly all right. So,
Yeah.
I will, just to remind you, once that had narrowly been averted, that horrible, horrible fate, certain parts of the shelves lit up, kind of revealing locations of interest, let's say, along the room.
And the space looks less warpy where they're glowing.
Yep. Now, are any of you actively interested in this strange phenomenon?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes. I was already up there looking at different things, actually. I'm on the last piece of my hair right now.
Hmm?
Can I,
Are you
can I
counting
ask
them?
why-
How many do you have?
I have, like, I have to Mark it into sections because it gets.
I'm just messing with you. You're good.
Hashtag hair day.
So yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm up there, looking at stuff. Are any of these newly highlighted compartments near where I was looking anyway, or?
They're all over, truth be told. But I want to give you this since you did. I do remember, like, you have been actively just poking and prodding and looking and pulling and slapping and.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to give you this up here. Where is it? Right about here, on this shelf here. What you see, kind of glowing faintly, appears to be a very ornate-looking frame carved into that section of shelf. Now, from where you're standing, you can't really see too much detail, but it catches your eye because it's glowing a slightly different hue than the rest.
I would like to head over and take a look. Both the Istus and Genesis. Genesis is kind of just looking at one of the books that were on the shelf, kind of walking along with everyone else in this little group of four.
Okay. All right. So you walk up to the location.
Yes. Slowly moving over there, so I'm not like running into anybody. Okay, Paul.
Okay. Hey. Got a gold piece for me.
Actually, hang on. Let me move back over and check my character sheets. I don't know that Genesis would have any.
Probably not. It's okay. So I was just messing anyway. So you approach the indentation, the ornate frame. And what you see inside is what appears to be an ancient hourglass encased in a frame of frost-covered silver with very intricate engravings depicting scenes of travel and strange symbols that you don't recognize. The sand within glows faintly with an ethereal blue light which pulses slowly.
Church, why do you keep giving Master Miss magical timepieces?
So
Because it's very Istu coded.
I haven't
So I
given her
don't-
anything. What do you mean?
So I don't recognize the markings on it.
Nope.
Um,
They are a. Wait for it. Pause for effect. Mystery.
I do want to ask though, has it been an hour? Oh my god. One second.
There's your alarm. It must have been. So while
I'm just
she's
asking because I did try to have Cinder
okay.
cast a spell to allow Istu to understand the text.
Oh,
I'm not sure.
it wouldn't matter.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they're not that type of symbol.
Okay, it's not a written language. It's just okay. Well, Istu looks at it, remembers the map that we found before and the list of prayers and so forth, and is like, there were these strange symbols. Interesting. I don't know what this means. And kind of just keep looking at it and trying to figure out stuff as everyone else gets a chance to do
All right.
things.
All right, so you're looking it over and studying it. What's everyone else doing? We'll push through. What are we doing, guys and ghouls? Anything? You don't have to do anything.
Well, I mean, this is different, right? So this isn't like offerings left to a goddess. This is the goddess's workshop. This is like her den, her office.
Maybe it's Hard to say.
Hard to tell.
Questionable.
But it doesn't look like these were left as offerings.
Definitely true.
Definitely not. Like, these were curated and collected and placed here on purpose. Yeah, I'll take a look around.
All right.
That's not sacrilegious.
Are you looking at like the glowing locations specifically?
Yeah, there's got to be a glowing location down here somewhere, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's one right. Cha.
Oh, all right. I'll go check that out.
All right. So what you find is the incessant, overwhelming need to roll a 1d20. Do you like that?
Ooh.
Hey.
Dang. Fancy man.
We're getting started off right tonight.
So the encasement that you're looking at, okay, much like before, it is a glass encasement, ornately framed with kind of frost-laden silver. Within it, through the glass, you can see what appears to be a quill crafted from the feather of a winter raven, laying on a small stand.
That's beautiful.
It is.
I'm just gonna marvel at it for a little bit.
Okay. While he marvels, anyone else?
Well,
It is floor time over here, my guy. It is floor time. Jimmy and Bryn are chatting to keep Jimmy's mind off of his hands knitting themselves back together from unreality.
That was probably a awkward moment. Physically. That's fair.
He's trying to not think about it.
That's completely fair.
yeah. But as Jimmy's hands are returning from the effects of Bryn's magic, as ghostly mists and twirl around his fingers and knit his limbs back together, Bryn is going to take his newly formed hands in hers and just kind of clasp them. And she looks at Jimmy and is going to say, "Gods, I thought I was going to lose you there. I was scared."
So close. So close.
I was a little nervous.
You have that much faith in me?
Well, is it misplaced? You got me out of this one, didn't you?
I did. But I was still scared that it would fail and I was going to lose you.
Would have been a pity. I've only just got my heart beating again.
I guess. Surprised I could love somebody this much.
Jimmy doesn't actually have a response to that.
Do I need to send Pohan up?
No, he contemplates that for a minute, but there is nothing at all that he can say that feels appropriate. He just smiles a little.
Speaking of, you know, Jimmy, you have my full permission to call me by my actual name.
But didn't feel right learning it from, you know. I wasn't going to mention it until you did.
Well, you still don't know the back half of it.
Oh, we have more. We got a family name. Well, dear Bryn, do tell.
Well, it's not necessarily a family name, because the story of how I got it is a little bit barmy, but my full name is Bryn Donadell.
This is now registered indelibly in Jimmy's mind.
And she'll lean forward and kiss him.
Is this of the Upper West Side Donadels, or? Sorry.
Yes. As a matter of fact. We continue to lie peacefully in repose. I start trying to get those new nerve endings to do something.
They're tender.
Mhm.
All right. Well, is anyone else doing anything while this is happening? Wilhelm, Saoirse.
Wilhelm moves towards the exit. This room looks a little.
We have one of those?
The
The
south
way
end.
we didn't come in, because Wilhelm, despite his upbringing, is very much not liking places that look like libraries recently.
It goes
that's
super
tragic.
wrong for us every time.
No
That's
kidding.
So tragic. Jeez.
No,
Poor
I'm telling you,
Wilhelm.
there's always a restricted section.
Poor
So-
Wilhelm.
Did
would
you
like to
see what
see-
happened to me? This whole thing is the restricted section.
Good.
I
That,
would
that
like
means
to
this is where they
see-
keep the good knowledge.
Oh.
Saoirse will go up to one of the glowing alcoves and look.
I would like to
Okay.
see if I can pull a coin from my component pouch.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't know if it needs to be a gold or it can be a platinum.
Platinum's preferred. Go ahead and roll, by the way, Saoirse.
Okay.
Yeah, are you feeding that to Pohan?
Yes.
I had this ready. Platinum farts! Platinum farts!
He loves it, but it's just a little too rich for his digestion.
My Isu's reasoning for trying that out is that the value system in Cairn is obviously very different from the one that would be in Sigil. So if
Yeah.
access to components are relative, then it should be possible to retrieve a relatively worthless currency now in this place.
Yeah, no, it has its uses. Platinum does, but it's not a currency.
Yeah.
All right.
Is that how component pouches work? Are they like tiny bags of holding and they just have whatever in there?
It depends on how
Have
kind your
spell
DM
components.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually they have spell components, but this is just me goofing off to. I don't know.
It's.
Oh, yes, of course.
I've tried to run games where I kept track of people's components and made them actually, and it just ends up. It's too much.
Sounds miserable.
Yeah, it is.
There's a reason why most people take the
Spell
arcane focus.
Yeah, it's a lot. Even in the older editions, like I actually created in first edition D&D a pouch of spell components. As long as it wasn't like it was any component up to a certain value, you could pull out for free. Up to a certain value. But Saoirse, you're looking at one over here. Inside, similar thing once again. A smaller case, silver frost-lined engravings over a glass front. Inside is a shimmering crystal that kind of holds a light all its own, very, very dim and very, very soft, but just a soft blue glow emanating from it. It's about the length of your hand.
Interesting. I think Saoirse will take it. Or her mag. It's shiny. It's pretty.
So you're
She
gonna
likes
open
shiny
it?
and pretty.
Open the case and take it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you reach out and open the case. As you do,
Uh-oh.
Who's standing in front of the hourglass specifically? Is1, Is2, Genesis.
The solid state is to
Solid
the gaseous one, as we were trailing onto the last 8 hours of that windwalk spell, is kind of draped over Cinder, who is probably closer to the left side of this issue.
Okay. No, that's fine. It's just who was closest. It's fine.
Yeah, so it's like that.
So
We'll
Is2
say
is the
that's
closest.
secondary.
Is to as like you hear the creak of that little case downstairs open, and you see the
hit the deck.
hourglass flip, and the sands
hit
begin
the
to trickle, and you see this emanating bit of energy kind of launch out, not in a real fast pace, but enough to where it's almost surprising. You didn't expect it,
Nope.
and
Nope.
it's this
Getting away
little
from that.
gas coming out, aiming right at your face.
I do not inhale and move away.
Give me a dex save, please.
Okay.
At disadvantage.
Okay.
Flat-footed.
Next, save. Disadvantage is checked. Do I have the right issue sheet? Select yes. I am not good at this. Ah.
Fortunately, you have like 4 different ways to cancel disadvantage.
Give me a bad roll.
Oh,
Yes!
And don't forget your bonuses from Cinder.
I'm gonna try. Yeah, that's a 15. So I'm gonna try that again. What if it's worse?
You're at 50-50. That's a perfectly average roll.
Oh no! Hey,
Hey, you're
okay.
looking good.
Is that-
22.
Is that your final answer?
That's going to
It's
be
not gonna
legitimately
be. If
hard to
it's not
beat.
enough, I don't know. Like I can't. I don't think I'm still going to do any
Yeah.
better. So
It's okay. It actually was not enough. But the gaseous mist, it has like a tangible, almost organic quality you feel as it hits you square in the eyes. And you can feel it wrap around your eyeballs, like physically. It's not painful, but it's not nice. Almost immediately.
Wait, it's not painful, but it's not nice. Would that be something that still applies to someone who's a Yanti and regularly licks their eyeballs?
Yes. Yes, because it's
Ooh.
like something just reached fully around and enclosed both your eyeballs and is holding them. Like the backs, the tops, the sides. So it's okay.
Jesus.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It's
So
grappling your eyeballs?
I know my strength score is low, but not like this.
so
This
The
is why we
blessings-
don't stay in libraries anymore.
All right, fair enough.
The blessings of the Lady of Winter are not always pleasant.
It's too. I'm just gonna say this out loud, okay? Otherwise, it'd be way too much to type. So, in your mind, you immediately feel the hourglass. You feel the sands running out in your mind. You can't see it, but you're very aware of it. And you get this sense of a very finite amount of time being left before something is going to happen. You are immediately, like, you begin to, like, have these strange visions, right? These weird images kind of float through your head in rapid succession. And you're struggling to kind of keep up with it because they're coming in so fast and you're off guard and kind of, flat-footed and it's not pleasant. So as you begin to coalesce the images in your mind, they start to make some type of sense. And you get the feeling that there is an extremely limited amount of time before the curse that affected Jimmy is revisited upon the entire room. An extremely limited amount of time.
And these things are on my eyeballs, around them.
Yeah, basically, when the hourglass runs out, anyone in this room is getting hit.
And that's. I'm guessing I'm feeling like there are sockets that are like there's a thing reaching out from the hourglass to wrap around my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't just like take a knife and sever that.
You're welcome to try.
Ooh. Okay, no. I would like to Misty step away from this very much.
Okay.
Do I have to see the space? Is the question. So let me. I'm really trying to work as fast as I can here. That you can see. So.
You can't see.
Yeah. It's verbal, but I have to be able to see. Okay, so dimension door, is that an option?
So just to give you a little detail,
Mhm.
you said you're very aware that time is running out.
Mhm.
It's not like seconds. First
Okay,
off,
because I'm trying to work as fast as I would be
Yeah,
at the
like,
speed of thought. You know.
it is an hourglass running. It's not necessarily an hour, so I use the term figuratively, but it's an hourglass. So the sands are running. As you kind of stumble back and you're going through your mind, well, I could try this, I could do that, maybe if trying to work out what's going on. Everyone's kind of aware that there's a bit of a scuffle going on up there. Like they can hear you stumbling and the gasps from the people around you. Also, the temperature in the room just dropped about 10 degrees. Beyond that,
Sirish's putting that crystal back.
all of the cases, you heard them unlock all at once. You are putting the crystal back?
Yeah, she's putting the crystal back. Sirsha doesn't know what happened, but whatever it is, it doesn't seem good. If the temperature's dropping and she's stumbling, like, ugh.
Oh, I'm sure it's
Too
fine.
coincidental.
I'm sure it's fine. Let me see. Oh, I don't think you are.
Oh, she can't?
You think about it, and you're looking at it, and you're like, there's something in you that's just like, but I really want this.
But my precious.
It's
I
so,
can't roll against this or anything.
it's so pretty, and I can feel so much power in it.
It does
Oh,
sound
no.
pretty cool.
This is why I never had Sirsha touch magic items 3.
They're all terrible.
I tell you what, give me an Arcana roll, Saoirse. How about that?
Okay.
Okay. So you're actually kind of unaware that there's a compulsion. This feels natural. You're like, man, I've always wanted one of these. I think I asked for this for Christmas one year. But as it settles into your mind, you can feel it kind of shift. And you kind of feel like a connection with it. Strange, almost spiritual connection with it. And you realize that holding this, you might be able to channel through it and call down like an ice storm. Okay, so while you're struggling with that,
I'm levering myself up onto my elbows and I say, what was that clicking noise?
The display case is unlocked.
Far in the distance. My eyes!
Ah,
My eyes!
Somebody found the unlock button for the display cases.
somebody go help Istu.
Wilhelm starts moving over.
Something... It all happened as soon as I picked up this crystal?
I would like to try to get myself out of this.
what do you want to do? Dimension
Classic.
door?
Classic spell.
It's verbal. I don't need to be able to see to go.
Okay, you're just gonna state distance?
A place you can see, one you can visualize, or one you can describe by stating distance and direction. So we're gonna.
You know what?
I'm gonna visualize it.
I'm gonna give it to you. Although It would almost be
still
fun to
doing
mess
the-
with you, but I'm gonna give you this one. I'm gonna give you this one.
I'm talking about the text and the components and like
Yeah,
all
no.
this stuff, but
Go ahead.
remember, this is
Go ahead.
okay, yeah.
I'm gonna let you. You're a very intelligent character, and player. Not to, discount one or the other, but go ahead. I'm sure you can remember the dimensions of the room. So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like right here. We're just gonna.
Go ahead. Move your token. Or did you already?
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Where'd you go?
Down to the staircase.
Oh, okay.
Over here
Way
where
down
Wilhelm
here.
was.
Way down here. Okay.
Into the
'Cause
shadows.
we gotta get out of here.
As far away as I could get.
Almost, actually.
So, as you step through, the whatever was covering your eyes is gone, but you are still painfully aware of that clock ticking.
Oh, okay. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. We have got to get out of here.
Are they saying that out loud?
Just two.
Yes.
Ah, God.
Time's running out.
Like quickly or?
As quickly as I could express to you.
Oh, I'm moving.
Parsecs. We
I'm
need to
moving.
get out of here.
Okay. Everyone
So-
bailing?
Oh yeah, it's time to go.
I wanted to
Yeah.
look at this pretty feather some more.
Do you want to grab the feather?
We don't
I'm
have
gonna grab
much
the
time.
feather and run.
Can I see how much time we have left since I can visualize the sand?
At this point, it's about halfway. You want to grab the feather? You said.
Yeah, I'll grab the feather and
I don't
run.
want to risk it.
Okay.
I don't want to say that we have 30 minutes and then be wrong. We have like 20, 15 before everybody in here gets hit with the same thing Jimmy got hit with.
Oh, 15, 20? That's plenty.
I'm not going a second round. Let's go.
Oh god.
I don't
have
wanna
the
risk
power
it.
to counteract all of that.
All right. I'm gonna just let Uki kind of follow the crowd here.
Please.
Wilhelm,
Oh.
you did grab the feather, by the way.
I definitely don't want to leave her behind. The hourglass is stuck there, right?
It's not moving.
I can't take it with me. Okay.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to go out and try.
Oh.
Do you really want it to grab your eyes again?
Can I mage hand it?
That's a little heavy for that.
Okay, no. Okay, we'll leave it there. I mean, I have it in my mind anyway, so.
Okay.
Can I
Anyone
have
else?
Is there any way that Saoirse can toss the crystal back? Because it's just she's kind of fighting with herself, but calling down an ice storm is not really her. She
It's up to
doesn't.
you. You're
Yeah,
not.
she'll-
You're not forced to keep it
Okay, she's gonna toss the crystal back.
into the room, or are you gonna go back?
I want this to happen before she runs to the thing. She blam throws a crystal back into the case that it was, and then run to the exit.
I would
basically.
say okay, but because of the time constraint and you've already moved.
She'll throw it on the ground. then.
Okay. So you toss
Can I
the
pick it
crystal
up?
if you want.
Can I pick it? Can I pick it up?
Yes.
Ooh, shiny.
Yeah. I
So
pick it up.
You snatch the crystal. Okay.
Ooh.
There's a couple compartments on the way out. Anyone want to go for a grab? Last chance.
I feel like I've paid the price for this. It's fine.
Anyone? Or are we all just barreling down the
Hard
stairs?
Hard pass. Treasure is treasure. Jimmy's not concerned with it right now.
Okay. Is that everyone? Last chance.
I think, yeah, we're all.
I want to write some beautiful poetry with this pen. This is a really nice quill.
Okay. And that you move down the stairs. Narrowly avoiding certain doom.
Dun dun dun.
And we move on to the next level. Boom.
Relief, but then apprehension.
Wait, let me fix my dimension. I think they were all kind of, yeah. There we go. All right. So you guys are on the stairs here, coming. All right.
I think I may be missing one of me.
Did we leave one behind?
No, I think Roll 20 didn't catch one of them because I was in the process of moving it when you were copying.
Oh.
Me.
They have two
That was
different.
my bad.
That's all right. Here, hang on. Oh, I don't need to move everyone over. I can go over. Oh, I don't know which one it was. I'll get the one furthest. We'll try it. I'm sure you'll have access to both of them either way. So. Okay. So, as you enter this chamber, a palpable chill seeps deep into your bones. Endless storm of imps falling from the heavens in fiery balls of fury. Maybe after the winter room, Shun, I'll consider it.
Nice.
It seeps deep into your bones, wrapping you in this uncomfortably cold, frosty embrace. The air is thick with a mist that shimmers in the dim light, casting ethereal shadows across the icy floor. Ice sculptures of travelers, frozen in time, stand as silent sentinels throughout the chamber, their expressions frozen in various poses of contemplation, awe, and resignation. Each sculpture seems to almost tell its own story of a journey interrupted, a life ended or suspended in the icy grasp of winter's embrace. As you come through the grand doorway, adorned with intricate frost patterns, reminiscent of delicate lattice work, you turn and notice that the archway you've come through does not have stairs on the other side. In fact, it's nothing but a dark void beyond that entry. But you can feel, coming through that darkness, cold tendrils of winter lingering, gently caressing your skin in ways that burn from the coldness of it. The only visible exit from here is a wide passageway on the other side of the room, leading to yet another descending staircase. However, I should note that in the center of the room, very large, appears to be a huge, particularly intricate statue, seemingly carved from a single block of pristine ice. Unlike the other sculptures, this one depicts Volri herself, her features hidden beneath her hooded cloak, and her form exuding an aura of otherworldly serenity.
Man, they sure don't do architecture like this anymore.
I think you gotta give the
sculpture work is just fantastic.
I think you gotta give the elves some credit. Not your elves, the other ones. The horror specs was pretty impressive.
The what?
Oh boy.
This is gonna take some explanation.
Did the picture come through for you guys?
Yeah.
Okay.
To get here, we kind of wrecked a ship the size of the mother's head.
What?
It was a
not
thing of
compute.
beauty.
I
It was a thing of
I
beauty.
don't understand. How did they make a boat that big?
They were crazy, man. It was all metal, too. It was like
What?
a sphere.
Ugh, elves work with metal?
I'd never seen it before either. Listen, It was remarkable. I guess they were on their way here, actually. I think some of them actually made it. Huh. I kind of wonder how that
No.
went now.
That can't have happened. I would know.
Jimmy shrugs. That's what the records say, but they've been sitting up there a while, so who knows.
And their landing crew were caught in whatever happened to Cairn.
Worst timing I've ever heard of.
Well, that's just really poor timing.
Just kind of walking forward, doing dexterity exercises with my new hands so I don't fail a sleight of hand check.
They called anything in particular? Like an elven ethnicity that we learned on either the Haru specs or the other one, the slipstream.
Give me a second. Jimmy racks his mind and he says, now, Church, correct me here. They were the Solonai elves?
Cylindaya.
Cylindaya. Solonai? Cylindaya. Cylindaya elves, they call themselves. Big travelers, I guess.
Never heard of them.
As his memory is slipping.
He wasn't there.
Really, never heard of them.
He wasn't there.
He was
It's-
busy.
Isn't that the party with like the Cylindaya and the Galdashaw? Like, isn't that where Az got blackout drunk and then locked in that volcano for?
No,
Like,
he had
over
already
200
been sent when the Cylindaya
Oh, okay.
arrived.
I thought you said that was like the incident, but oh well.
No, me and Ginkgo have worked that one out.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
That's all good.
Are
So you-
these corpses here? These
So
are our statues of the people
Yeah,
lost to the winter on the road.
you're I assume you're taking a closer look by the sound of it.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So aside from the beauty of the statue in the center of the room, the statues around it appear to be souls, entities, bodies frozen in time. It's hard to say. They're almost entirely ice, but the detail is immaculate. So much so that no mortal hands could have possibly carved this. They look, aside from being made of ice, as if their last moment was just locked in time, right there. You're welcome to look at each one of them if you like, or the center, or just ignore them completely, or blow them up. It's up to you.
Bryn will definitely check one out.
Okay.
Because I have some suspicions about these.
They're ice golems. No. Just kidding. Which one? Brent.
This one right here.
Okay. It is a statue of a young woman with very delicate features, wrapped in a finely woven shawl. Her hands are holding on to a needle and thread as if she was not a needle, but like a hook bar and thread, as if she was weaving in the final moments of her life. Would you- anything
Spiritual about these? Like, is there any spiritual energy that I can pick up on? Attuning my senses to the spiritual dimension?
Are you going to touch it?
I think I don't want to touch it.
Made him
Not
nervous now. To attune to it, like you would need some type of contact.
Okay, I was just thinking of like opening my senses up, kind of like, the way Bryn does with the seance, but
Yeah, no, you won't sense anything that way. You're welcome to try and attune with it to see if there's a spiritual residue or something through attuning your senses physically. But the ambient spiritual essence is not recognizable, aware, no. Visible, sensing something, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Bryn's hand hovers in the air close to the statue, and there's a look of hesitation on her face. And as she stands there and contemplates for a second, she drops her hand back down by her side, and then crosses her arms.
So you touch it or don't?
Don't.
Okay. So nothing happens?
I have my suspicions about these statues, but I fear what would happen if I actually touched them.
I would like to look around the other side of the room here.
What? Haven't you ever been to a museum?
Okay.
You don't touch the art?
Except in specific circumstances, you know?
Like
Out of
petting
character,
zoos.
I just saw like a video tour of somebody taking an accessibility tour of the Museum of Modern Art where they got to touch things because they were visually disabled.
Ooh, fancy.
That's cool.
Neat.
Yeah, I thought it was super awesome because you got to like feel the carvings and stuff like that instead of you know, most of the statues being lost on him.
Oh, did they get him like the archivist gloves, the white ones? with
No,
very
he
soft-
the one I saw, he was just touching it with his fingers, and they had like
They probably don't
Hey.
want to
touched the
reduce his
statue, and
sensitivity.
he got this. Yeah,
I'm surprised because whenever I went to the Met Cloisters, like they had a strict no touching policy because one of their medieval
Well-
statues that they had in their parts of it like had really, really worn down from the oils on people's fingers.
Well, this is the Museum of Modern Art too,
Ah.
so I imagine
Yeah, and
that played a part.
and if you can't see the art, you know, it's kind of silly to be like, don't touch it, don't see it. You
Don't
know?
touch it.
Yeah, because
I
they had like
agree.
other
It's a
options
lovely
too. They didn't
accommodation.
just have a human being just touching things. Like for the
Yeah.
more delicate stuff, they had like raised drawings of them and stuff like that, which was really cool
that's
to
the
see.
cool
Neat.
shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool to see.
So
Anyway, I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. Are you doing a sensory exploration of the other statues?
I would like to have Istio and Genesis and Cinder kind of look around over here on this side.
Are
But
you-
I don't know if we're gonna touch anything. I think we're just gonna kind of see what this space looks like, you know.
Okay. Just what you're seeing. The only thing really that seems relevant in an obvious sense is the statues. The outer rim, kind of where you're looking. Like there's other statues and carvings in the ice-coated floor and the frost-lined walls and columns. But beyond that, like, nothing stands out.
I would like to examine statues on the ground, but I don't want to touch them, but I do want to kind of read their energy.
Which one?
Well, I can't really see here.
You can see the statues though, right?
I can see this one and this one.
You can't see the.
This one over here is too far. It's in the dark.
Oh,
But
it's
I
because of
would
the
look-
darkness. Okay.
I would look here if, but you know, Genesis doesn't need to be able to see the light. Since this encroaching darkness gets worse and worse and worse, we're kind of tapping into other abilities to be able to experience the space.
So you are having a sensory exploration. All right. So you go to examine this one visually, right?
Right.
Okay. It is a statue of a tall, rugged man. His face is set with a fierce expression. He appears to be wearing a thick cloak, has a sword by his side, but his feet are bare.
Are the bare feet significant to me in any way?
You tell me.
Well, so the reason I'm asking that is because I feel like a Ventrite would deal with a lot of different people. Culturally, there are situations in which you remove your shoes, right? When you visit somebody's house, for instance, if they have a no shoes policy.
It doesn't strike you as like a cultural reason, no. I mean, it could be, but this individual is most likely from a culture that you'd be unfamiliar with. Like, you can tell that just because of where you're at more than anything.
Okay. A cloak, a sword, and no shoes. This is an interesting question. Is Az wearing shoes?
No.
I'm wearing shoes, right?
You tell me.
I hope so.
If it's up to me, I'm gonna say no because I'm a jerk.
He's been barefoot this entire time, and I didn't notice.
Yeah, he wears very little clothing.
Wait a second. What color is his skin today? Because it was different.
Who has?
Am I seeing things?
What do you mean?
Az?
Huh?
Am I seeing things? Did your skin change colors?
Yeah, once in a while it does that.
Genesis does a double take. And then is like, how do I ask about that without being offensive?
I'm sorry, what color are you?
I genuinely, I looked at you and then I looked away and I looked back and
So, would you like to lay your hand on the statue?
does it feel like that would be a bad idea?
Of course not.
Because I feel like ice in lower and lower temperatures, if you have sweat on your hand, you can...
Well, you're not putting your tongue on it or anything. Well, I mean, you
Okay.
can, but
I'm
not stopping you.
Listen. Let's start with the touching first.
I'm actually prepared to deal with that.
and then if it comes to life and says hello, then you see where it goes. Clearly, Genesis doesn't have a problem with that. 4 decisions have been made. Wait, actually, this is the perfect time for me to use that new sticker.
Oh, there we go.
6 were made.
Perfect. All right, so
we're
you want to
just
touch
reading
it?
I don't get the sense that this is dangerous, do I? Like,
Well, no more than anything else you've touched on.
That's not saying
why
much,
not?
man.
Heck it. I touch it.
You touch it?
I carefully touch it.
Is this
I'm not gonna smack it or anything.
this is Genesis?
Indeed. The squishy one.
Okay. So Genesis, you lay your hand on the cold, slick surface of the ice. You can feel the cold kind of against the palm of your hand, and this wave of strange feelings wash over you. It's like a chill, like somebody just walked over my grave chill. Kind of runs up your spine. And you shiver for a second, and your eyes close for just a blink, but when they open, you are no longer Genesis. You are Orin, the fearless explorer who ventured into the unknown territories of the North. And you are out seeking a mythical frozen citadel that supposedly exists out here. But there's a horrible snowstorm, making it hard to see. You can feel the wind buffeting against you, your cloak almost trying to tear itself from your shoulders. and you're gripping your sword and just barreling through. You're a big, rugged guy, and you're just pushing through. You're gonna find this. But you went out for food, and it's been a while, and you got turned around in the storm. You can't see your hand in front of your face, and it's getting so cold. You just stepped out of the shelter for a moment. Just for a moment to go to the fire, and it was so bad that you lost your way almost immediately. The flames of light were gone, and you're so tired now. You're so tired. You feel yourself stumble and stagger, and you go down on one knee. You're holding yourself up, trying to shake it off, but you just can't. You're so tired. So tired, so cold, your feet are burning, and you look down and you see the frost burn as you realize you went out to get food with no boots on. And you kind of smile and laugh at yourself a little bit and say, well, I'll be. As you lay your head down in the soft snow, suddenly feeling very warm. And then you slip off into darkness.
Even socks would have been.
And Genesis is dead. No, I'm just kidding. You snap out of it with your hand still on the statue, and you're kind of like, whoa.
Is that a mind in there?
You're not
Or
sure.
is it just the vision?
It felt more like a vision. Genesis would know, obviously.
And you said the name was Orin?
Mm-hmm. Orin. Orin. Orin the Bold.
That's the one time I spell something correctly. Dang. Alright. I wanna see if there's someone in there. Like, earlier you said it couldn't be carvings that were too intricate to be carved by human hands.
Yeah, no mortal could have carved that. Not even a Shanakijan in their prime.
Okay, so they're mostly ice. We can tell that's not a person in there, right?
You can see right through them. They're entirely ice.
Okay.
All right.
I want to keep going and look around.
Okay. All right. Well, anyone else doing anything? Getting touchy-feely or breaking anything?
What? No, you don't touch the art at a museum.
Or...
But I'll respectfully observe with my eyes as I make my way across the room,
Okay.
around the outside.
I carefully circle around to the front of the statue to examine it. I do not touch the sculptures as I go.
Which, are you talking about the big one?
Yeah, I'm examining the big one.
Okay. So as you inspect closer to the large statue, you notice with your Jimmy eyes,
Yeah, they're pretty short.
You notice the subtle indentions around the base of the statue, resembling intricate symbols or maybe runes. It's hard to say. You notice how close are you getting to this thing?
I'm willing to step on these border stones, but not closer than that.
Okay. So as you get closer to it,
Bearish.
yeah, as you get closer to it, to the ice, you could swear you hear faint whispers, like the soft murmur of a winter breeze through frost-laden branches. And as you listen closely, you could swear you understand what they're saying. They're speaking about you. They're talking about your past before you even met Stapleton, when you were just a 2-bit con man. They're talking about the fettered cloud. They're talking about the secrets that you hold from that moment, those internal dark secrets that you don't want to share. They talk about the secret that you mentioned to the door. And on, even some things that maybe have yet to come. You're not sure.
He stands. He's a man well familiar with uncomfortable secrets. So while he is apprehensive, he is not afraid. You know, he has lived in the presence of these things his whole life.
Mm-hmm.
It does make him a little contemplative, though, for the moment. He starts to say aloud, to Bryn, but also just generally, and anybody could easily hear him.
Mm-hmm.
When I was very young, and we were out on the streets, we didn't just worship her because she was goddess of the roads. You know, that was for her people, her chosen people, or, you know, the other way around. No, we worshipped her because she was the goddess of the roads and the winter. And the road was your life, and if you lived there, the winter was probably going to be your death. So, why not go in for the whole package? That's how all these people died. He looks back at the statues. The lady took them.
Mm-hmm. They met their winter.
A lot of people said, the ones who got close, that it's not such a terrible end. But don't doubt it. That's the end of you. Shakes himself a little bit. Turns away.
Okay. Anybody else?
Go ahead.
I wasn't gonna say anything. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I would actually like to open up my senses as a spiritualist, and I want to do a full-on spirit check of everything.
Okay.
These things look too lifelike. I'm wondering if they are or were living.
Opening up your senses as a spiritualist, I won't even make you roll for this. You are almost painfully aware that within each one of these sculptures, excluding the center, is definitely a powerful soul locked in just perpetual stillness.
Yep. Leave it to Wilhelm to get the information that I want to without touching the things.
The Cairn powers. They're very powerful.
Yeah.
You could still touch one.
No.
It made everybody nervous.
I'm gonna move towards the closest one.
Alright.
I think that's one. This
Yeah.
one right here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Bryn's line of thinking was they were frozen in place like this by some sort of magic, and she doesn't want to touch it lest she get frozen herself.
That's fair.
That's her hesitation.
I would like to try to free the soul.
You want to try to free it? How?
It's my boy, listeners proud.
So I know how I managed to pull my own out of my physical form earlier.
You want to try and extract it?
Yes, but not to use it. I just kind of want to pull it out and then let it go.
Okay. So give me a religion check real quick.
working on it.
Mhm.
This is one of those. This is why what you're thinking is a bad idea.
Maybe.
Well, you know, it's
Okay.
it's not the usual Cairn case, right? These people died well before the Blight, and are in the seat of, if not their religion, then the goddess who had dominion over their death.
Yeah, this is a. These 8 souls are actually still trapped within their afterlife. So pulling them out would just set them to wander aimlessly. Now, whether or not that's a good thing or a bad thing, I will leave to your own moral judgment as an individual.
I have a bit of an existential question.
We're getting deep. What is it?
What's the difference between the mind and the soul?
Well,
Dan,
that's.
where's listener when you need him?
I was gonna say that might be a discussion for another time, because that's one we could probably go round and round about for several centuries, as the human race has done. For gaming purposes, they are separate.
So how do I know that there's a mind? There's not one. I can see through these, right?
There's no
The
brain.
mind,
There's
the
no
mind
organ.
requires a brain, right? Like it requires a recently functioning brain.
Well, a spirit can have a mind, but a mind cannot have a spirit. How about that? You won't get a spirit out of a brain, but you might still find a mind in the spirit.
Can I look for that? For that mind?
Well, you already found one. Orin.
But Orin wasn't doing any, like, new thinking.
No, most spirits aren't.
So that's probably the difference. Like,
I want to
they're
touch
not.
another one and see if
Yeah.
I can see that same thing again.
Okay, which one you want to touch?
Well, you know, I'm struggling with the visuals, but I'm just kind of going counterclockwise around this one. I'm not sure if I'm actually
This right
selecting
here?
anything. Okay, yes.
Do you not
I'm
have
just going
light
around the.
on you, or a means to see?
I don't.
Hang on. Because Genesis should have.
Practically blind sight, right?
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on night vision for you, okay? And I'm going to shade it slightly, just for effect. There you go.
Ooh, okay.
You see a little better now?
Definitely.
There you go, yeah, because you should have blind sight for fairly good distance.
So we'll go right here and then
So that one right
Try
in
to-
front of you.
yes,
All right.
carefully.
It's an elegant statue. It depicts a woman with a frozen lute in her hand, her mouth open as if caught mid-note, her expression one of defiant joy. You want to touch her?
An elegant woman with a lute with an expression of defiant joy. Okay. Yes,
You touch her?
I do.
Okay. Once again, you feel the chill against your hand, the slick surface of the ice. You feel that shiver run up you. Once again, you are no longer Genesis. You are Seraphine, who traveled across the land to perform her music for every court and tavern that she could get into. This night, you're crossing a frozen lake. You know that on the other side of this lake, and it's midwinter, the ice should be plenty thick, but you know across that lake there is a very, very wealthy household who has actually put the call out for talented musicians. And they don't want any of that Shonakesian crap. No. No, they want some down home, just good, solid music like you play. Your lute is just magic in your hands. And you can't wait. You just can't wait to get over there, to get out of the cold, to warm your fingers up and maybe get a nice warm cup of mulled wine in you and then entertain this family and maybe make a name for yourself. And you keep going, and all of a sudden you hear this loud crack, 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 crack. And you look out and you see this spider web of shattered filaments of ice around your foot where you just stepped. And there's a moment where just time stands still. And you think, maybe I'm gonna make it. Maybe I'm gonna make it. And you shift your weight just slightly to try and get off the broken ice, and you just plummet right through into the ice cold water. It immediately just knocks the breath out of you. It's so cold. You're clutching your lute in one hand and just swimming and kicking as hard as you can, but you can already feel your body slowing down. The cold is overtaking you. Everything is shutting down. You can not catch your breath. But then, the last moment, you catch the edge of the ice. And you can already feel it starting to freeze shut around you, trying to lock you into this eternal darkness down below. But not you. No, not Seraphin. Seraphin's not going down like that. You pull and kick and scramble, toss your lute on the ice, manage somehow, soaking wet, to pull yourself back up onto the surface of the ice. You're shivering, you're cold. You look around slowly one side to the next and you don't see any light. Just the gentle falling of the snow above you, landing on your face, but you're already so cold you can't feel it. You kind of smile to yourself. And you reach out and you grab your lute. And you feel it under your fingers. Your fingers are stiff and you're struggling, but muscle memory takes over. And you play your lute one final time. Your music echoing across the ice as everything slowly fades to black. And your final song forever incomplete. And then
probably
you snap
ruined by that cold water, right?
That's all right. But yeah, then you snap back.
Ugh, okay. I wonder if Seraphin knew Orin. They seemed like they were traveling in the same time, or...
Can't really tell. It wasn't anything that was at the forefront of the memory you witnessed.
So you said that Seraphin was thinking that they didn't want any of the any Shonakesian music. They wanted the good music. What race was Seraphin thinking of?
Volrestadt.
So I'm like envisioning this loop that's got like black tendrils around it.
Oh, this was definitely pre-blight.
So they'd just be the people of Volry.
It's before they became the orphans.
And they were just normal humans at the time.
Kind of.
I can vibe with it. I wonder, like, I feel like this information is relevant, but I just don't know how yet. So I'm gonna keep going around and doing the same thing with everybody else.
Alright.
Every other the statues around.
All right. Anybody else doing anything?
Oh God, I wish I'd tuned this.
Just shaking my head. These children keep touching the art. I can't take them anywhere.
How else do you expect me to engage with my surroundings?
With your eyes?
With my eyes in this encroaching darkness, my guy?
As Genesis turns to look at you with the full, like, peace-bound mask covering her entire face.
with my eyes, my guy? With my eyes, my dude? Are you sure?
Well, you know, it usually works pretty well for me.
Is it working now?
Yeah, these are beautiful masterworks.
Okay. What do your elven eyes see?
Souls frozen in time.
Well,
Supplication to their goddess.
Wilhelm,
Their last moments.
I'm sorry, Wilhelm, were you trying to get in there?
No, I was gonna respond.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead and respond. I always like...
They're not art as they're people, they're spirit. Trapped.
They're not trapped, they've transcended. They've become art. They're now eternal. A memory
Just gonna have a difference of opinion on that one, aren't we?
greatness.
But if they're trapped in a moment, who's to say it's a good moment? They could be living nightmares.
Church.
Hmm.
This probably being sort of common knowledge of the worshippers of Volri.
Hmm.
Do those who die of winter, rather than just in winter, wind up here in the spire?
Everyone that dies under Volri's watch, let's say, her people, her chosen or chosen by, them, end up in the labyrinth. And the labyrinth is where they wander forever. But only certain ones kind of reach that nirvana and get into the spire, get to make it to the spire, where their, greatest reward will be bestowed upon them for succeeding in that journey. But they have eternity to do it,
Of course.
So you think maybe these might be some of those special ones?
So, I will say to Wilhelm, you don't gotta worry about them. Doc, did you hear what I said to the big man earlier? This was heaven. This is where you went if you were good and strong and survived the road. What, you're gonna wake them up now and then tell them their goddess is dead?
I understand your thinking, but things have changed. Who's to say this heaven is the same with her gone? Everything else seems to have been twisted. It could be affecting them.
Look at him, man. Think about it for a second. That's a solid block of ice. They're not thinking. They're not worried. That's peaceful. About as peaceful as you can get without existing at all. I guess I probably can't stop you. Ghosts, with one exception, are not really my thing. But I do urge you to consider carefully. What is it that they say? You save a man's life, you're responsible for him until the day he dies? You bring somebody back to existence, You're stuck with him forever.
Wilhelm.
Don't worry. I would not pull them out because I don't know. And it would be their decision. And at that, Wilhelm's gonna touch it.
Touch the butt.
All right, so you touch the one at your feet there.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yep.
You touch the one at your feet. Much like with Genesis, you get the sensation of the cold ice against your hand. It's there for a moment, and the cold chill rips up through you. Very abrupt, and you feel like something within you spin and turn, and you can all kind of visibly see Wilhelm's like eyes rock back into his head as he goes into like a trance-like state. And you are no longer Wilhelm. You are the Stonewalker. You had another name once, but you gave that up a long time ago. You can feel the armor weighing heavy on you. You can feel the shield in your hand. And you know, like you just feel this pride in you, driving you on. You are a warrior. People know your name, and you're leading your men through a mountain pass on your way to shore up the edge of a war that's been going on that had nothing to do with you whatsoever, but you called, or they called, and you came. And you don't mind. You like the way it makes your heart pound in your chest. You like the thrill of it, the pitting of man against man and weapon against weapon. And you look around proudly. You look back at your men. You can see their silhouettes in the moonlight behind you. Each one of them worth 10 of the people you're going up against easily. You take a deep sigh, and you take a few steps up, kind of at the lead of the group, about 10 paces behind you. And that's when you hear it, this low kind of rumble. You're not sure what it is. And you look around, you don't see anything on the horizon. You look back, and your men hear it too, you can tell. You place a hand on the snow at your feet, you can feel it. It's getting more and more intense, louder and louder. You take your shield up, you kind of grab your sword, and you're looking around, and then all of a sudden you feel snow and ice kind of pelting you from above, and you look up and you see this huge avalanche coming down right on top of you. You try to shout, but it's too late. You hear your men scrambling and screaming and shouting in pain and confusion, and you dive trying to get out of it, but it catches you like a wave in the ocean and just barrels you head over heel further. You don't even know up or down. You're absolutely confused. And when it settles, you're alone. Nothing but silence. You can feel breakage and various bones on your body and pain, and you're bleeding from several places, but the warmth, at least, you know, it's better than the cold. And you use that to slowly dig and move and shuffle and get yourself out of the snow and ice until finally you breach and you can take a deep breath. It's like a bear yowling for the first time when it comes out of its den. And you smirk a little bit in pride, and you're like, I'm still terrifying. You manage to kind of drag yourself bleeding and broken onto the surface of the ice, and even manage to get up onto your feet. And you look down, your sword in one hand, still gripped tight. Look down at your other, your shield snapped right in half, but it's still on your arm. And you decide that your only choice here is to wait and hope for rescue. So you do your best to stand at attention. You guard that pass. You guard that pass, making sure that anyone come and look for you will find you, that they'll be safe. The only thing you can think of is your men. And you hold that thought, and it holds you until eventually, like a ghost, sleep comes over you, and you are no more. And you snap back into your own awareness.
Can I try to, before I pass completely, kind of think a thought at it?
Well, that's the thing, is you were, for all intents and purposes, him.
Okay.
You lost sense of self in that moment. You're dealing with some weird divinity stuff here, so it's okay.
Wilhelm smiles. A sad smile. And simply nods.
Okay. You look
You
down
are
at
happy.
the statue of the formidable warrior clad in armor, gripping a broken shield and sword, beard encased in ice. You feel good. Okay. Anybody else?
Me.
You going again?
I am. I feel like Genesis is looking for something that's familiar because you have this warrior with a sword, you have this elegant woman with a lute. I want to see if there's someone that I may understand a little better, and we're gonna keep going around to gather the rest of these stories.
Okay. This one?
Right.
Alright.
But I want to see if I can do it. But I want to do like a synesthesia thing, so I'm not touching everything. You know.
Are you touching the statue?
Is it required for me to touch it with my hands, or can I touch it with my mind?
No, you would have to have physical contact.
Okay, well, I'll do that then.
Okay.
We tried.
The one
Sorry,
in front of you. No, it's alright. The one in front of you is a statue of a serene-faced woman, her robes flowing as if in a breeze, her fingers extended towards the sky as though conjuring a silent spell.
Ooh. Can I have Genesis and Istu touch it at the same time?
I'll allow it. Why not?
Like Genesis goes to touch it and then realizes this is a caster, and then it's like, oh, yoink.
Yeah, I'm fine. So you both touch it?
We both do.
Alright. Your identity fades, just as before. And you are now Mara, sorceress, seeking the source of this strange extended winter's curse that seems to have reached the heart of where she lived with the small settlement of people. She ran a hospice there. You ran a hospice there, where you cared for people who've suffered diseases, aches, breaks, hurts and wounds along the way. Somebody needed to. But you believe that somewhere out there there's a very dark entity that's caused this. And so you climb up onto this high ridge where you can see the dark clouds beyond. Strange to see that color of lightning echoing down through the valley. Those lights just illuminating the ice around as they do. And you begin to well within yourself power. You speak the ancient incantations. You make the somatic gestures. And you begin to direct your energy at those clouds. Your intent to dispel this horrific powerful curse of winter. You know that this is not a Volry. This is not natural. No part of the world could create something this terrible. People are dying. It is draining the stocks and reserves of the people in the area. It should have ended months ago, or a month ago. Excuse me. So you push everything you have into this. You feel it's your duty. Your duty not only to the people, but to Volry herself. She wouldn't like this. It's not right. Somebody tampering with her domain like this. And you push. You push hard. You can feel the energy leaving. It streaks across the sky. Your own lightning shooting out. Your own fire raising up around you. You can feel it burning all around you. Your hair whips up. Your clothes billow out around you. And the pain begins to set in as you begin to drain every ounce of your own being, pushing into this storm, pushing every ounce of power, not only that you can pull from the area, but from yourself as well, unwilling to be defeated. And slowly you begin to feel your body stiffening, control being lost. You begin to falter. The pain is too much. You scream in defiant anger, but all that comes out is a whisper. As you slowly realize you yourself are being overcome by whatever foul curse this is, and are slowly turned to ice yourself, your last spell still flickering at your fingertips, and sadly the storm remaining unabated.
Can we both see this?
Yep, and you come back to yourself. Ooh. Hey TBJ, welcome. We always appreciate the hugs. These poor cats need them.
I get the feeling I should be learning something from this, but I'm not.
Story of my life. Anybody else while we're going around and around? No? Nobody?
Nope. I'm just gonna keep going.
Alright. There's one at the south.
Oh.
If you're going one by one, then you don't have to.
I am. I don't see that one on the map.
Yeah, it's very small. Right there.
Here? Okay, yes. I look at this one.
It is a small, childlike statue. Its features rounded and innocent, with a tiny backpack and a woolen hat that seems almost too big for his head.
Oof. Genesis reaches out a hand, and Istu stops her.
Okay,
I'll look at this one.
fair enough. Alright, is this two touch?
I could have handled it, is the last thing that Istu hears before touching this small statue.
Alright. You are Eldwin, and you are on an adventure. Now, you didn't want to tell anybody because this is your chance, right? This is your chance. You saw that big, white, snowy looking hare. He went right off into the woods, and you're gonna catch him. You're gonna catch him. You got your backpack, you got your hat, you got your boots, you got your jacket. You're ready to go. So you look around and nobody's looking. kind of rub your hands together. They're going to be so proud of you when you get home with this big rabbit. It's been a sparse winter, and it's going to feel good to contribute to the family, to give a little in, like your big brother does, like your dad does, like even your mom. Like they're all bringing food in and working really hard, and you just don't feel right not pulling your weight. And so you trot on out into that big, dark, snowy forest, completely unafraid. You've got a few hours until dusk completely falls and night has. You'll be alright. You truck out and you're following the tracks that you can find in the snow, and maybe getting a little distracted along the way here and there. There's some really cool rocks over there, and the river's frozen. If you're careful, you can walk right across it, and you do, and you skip a couple stones off it, and that makes that really crazy sound that rocks make when they hit ice. It's kind of neat. But you don't want to get too distracted. You gotta find the hare. And you go on, and your imagination kicks off, and you go through all these characters that you've heard about in the past, and old heroes, and people you've even made up. But then before you know it, you look around and the light's slipping away really fast. And you're not really sure where you are. You're a little bit scared. You've completely lost the track of the hare. It's gone. You got so distracted in games and with your imagination. Oh man, I hope they can find me. Dad's a really good tracker. I'm sure it'll be okay. It's so cold though. Ooh, kind of wish I'd brought a thicker jacket. I think maybe I'll just curl up under this tree for a little while. I'm sure they'll find me. Just kind of nestle in. It's so cold. Kind of tired anyway, but I'm sure they'll find me. Right? And you drift off into sleep.
He puts on the little gloves, the mittens that are connected by one string that run through under his coat. You know how, like, sometimes children's mittens will be connected by a piece of yarn so they can't lose them.
Yeah.
And as he closes his eyes, his last thought is, the mittens are connected by yarn, so I can't lose them. And I'm connected by yarn, so they can't lose me.
Oh. That works. But yeah, then Is2 comes back. I'm not sure how Is2 would feel about that, if anything.
Oh. Oh, we picked the right one for this one. This one's fine. Yeah, no relevant information. Moving along.
Classic Is2. All right. Well, so I have to ask, anyone else while we're moving around, or anyone?
Jimmy feels it would be inappropriate. A death of cold is about the most private death you can have.
Fair enough.
And, back in his youth, he knew enough people that died this way. He doesn't need another one on his mind.
That is fair.
Yeah, and Bryn, as much as she, queries the dead for their personal stories, she doesn't want to see and experience these people dying in the cold.
Also fair. Okay. Genesis, Is2, are you completing your circuit?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I guess this one.
Yes.
All right. So this statue is a burly figure, crouched with a bow drawn. You can see the muscles are taut. His eyes appear to be searching the horizon. Do you do the touchy?
With a bow drawn, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Do you do the touchy?
I'm trying to figure out who will be the best combination of people for this. I think Istu and Cinder are gonna both touch it together.
Okay. So you touch it?
Yes.
All right. You are Hrogar. And everyone knows your name because nobody in this entire area can hunt like you do. You, unlike those other schmucks, hunt the elusive ice fox. Their pelts are worth loads. But you know, like, right now the need is high. This has been a really bad winter. And, well, nobody else is willing to go. I mean, they're all getting food and deer, and anyone can go hunt those big lumbering oaf of creatures, but the elusive fox, they're smart, they're crafty, perfect with camouflage, especially this time of year. And you know you're gonna make a substantial profit when you bring these in. You've already got a few more. You can head back, skin and tan them. It's gonna be a good year. Hrogar is going to be in high demand. So you continue tracking deeper into the wood, and the storm's kicking up pretty bad. You haven't really seen it this bad before. You're a little nervous, but not that Hrogar would admit to, because I'm Hrogar. It's just a storm.
'Tis but a storm.
Tis but a storm. So you move deeper, and then the wind picks up and the snow picks up, and your visibility just begins to completely crash. And you're having a hard time. Like, you're struggling to get through. Each step is a little more cumbersome than the last as you're just trudging through this fresh, deep snow. And in the distance you hear this pow, pow, pow of trees snapping under the weight of the snow, because it's blizzarding so bad. You can feel it biting your skin. But you got that bow, and you got a sharp eye. So you dig deeper. You dig real deep. You push on. And that's when it happens. You see one. Biggest one you've ever seen. So you push forward, silently moving around the base of a large tree. And you get it in your sights. And your hands are trembling when you're trying everything you can to hold them steady as you draw a bead on this big fox. And you let loose that arrow, and it misses. And the thing yelps and takes off. Hrogar, you jump to your feet. You start trudging after this thing. You're gonna get this thing. This thing's gonna be worth a mint all on its own. You're gonna get this thing. But you get tired. You get tired quickly. This thing's making you run. You're trekking it through briar patches under the snow that are tearing at your feet. You can feel scratches and cuts from passing through where this thing has just been burrowing around and getting through little hidey holes. It knows the location much better than you are. And it must be an older one because it's very experienced. And finally, you get to this point where you're just exhausted. You can't move anymore. And you kind of laugh to yourself. It's like, wow. All right, I think you got me. And you look around and you very quickly realize it's pretty hopeless. You're not getting back. So you kind of say, well, I'm taking this little ball of fur down with me if I have to go. So you just use the last of your strength, creeping ever forward. Ever forward. Moving as fast as you can. And then you see it up on a ridge, looking the other way. You smile, lick your cracked, kind of parched lips knock some of the ice off your beard. Shaking hands, you pull an arrow and draw your bow back as strong as you can. You're Hrogar, though. You got this. And you draw that bead, and as you're staring down the length of the shaft of the arrow, out towards this large Arctic fox up there on the ridge, moonlight kind of barely piercing through the thick clouds. All you can think of is, imagine what I'm going to be able to get my son with this. And then it goes dark.
I like to think the arrow is loosed from the bow, and as it sails through the air, the light leaves his eyes. Like he doesn't see if it hits or doesn't hit.
Yeah, the arrow
It has
never
that
found
last
its
line.
mark. The arrow never found its mark, at least as far as he knows. But then you come back.
I do know what it's like to stalk a prey, for sure. It's so disappointing. That's what you got from that? Really? Yeah, what else? What did you get? Yeah.
So, once again, anyone else, just so I'm being fair. Anyone?
Well, good here.
Okay. I gotta ask, you guys are just kind of watching this happen. So.
I imagine in game time, this is not taking them too long.
It's been 42 days! No, I'm joking.
You guys are gonna run out of food soon.
On to the next one.
I guess so. I'm the designated toucher. I don't know.
Hi,
I don't know how to feel about that.
I'm
about
the
that
official
designation.
toucher of the group.
Apparently, I'm the one putting it all on the line. I don't know, or the four putting it all on the line. Apparently,
I'm the toucher.
I took the last few. I'm kind of worn out. You can touch the next several traps.
That's fair.
yeah. Well,
That is fair.
Why would you touch the art?
it's not art. It's people.
So,
People who transcended and became art.
Jimmy
So
strikes
how
up
do-
a
how do
religious
you-
debate with Az on this topic.
How do you experience their last moments then if you don't touch them?
It's that kind of art?
What did that spirit say before it disappeared? Mysteries are apparent to all and have yet to be understood.
I don't understand.
Was that what was said? That I would want to quote it.
oh, the quote from it was, secrets are hidden things meant to be discovered, and once found, their meaning is clear. Mysteries are apparent and accessible, but the meaning is interpreted. Secrets are kept by one person or a few people, while mysteries are for many people to consider.
For many to consider. How are we supposed to consider them if we don't touch them?
I
Just
think
look at
these are
them.
more on the order of secrets than mysteries, per se.
Maybe I just have a nosy gene. I don't know. Genesis reaches over and touches this one while we're chatting.
Maybe I just have a nosy gene. I love it.
I just want to know, right? I want to do the circuit. I want to find out because human beings are motivated to motion and to travel distance by two things: moving towards a goal or moving away from a negative. Towards a positive or away from a negative would be a more concise way to put that. And it seems like everybody else we touched here is moving towards a positive. They're hunting a fox. They're looking for a rabbit. They're heading towards a performance. They're hunting for food. Everybody's moving towards a positive. So I want to see if there's anyone moving away from a negative, because that'll be the outlier or outliers in this pattern.
Okay, so you touch The graceful statue of a woman looking up at the sky, one hand shielding her eyes, her cloak billowing as if caught in a perpetual gust of wind. Yeah? You ready?
I am.
You are Anara, the astronomer. And you are very excited because there is a powerful celestial event that only occurs once every, well, every long time. You kind of giggle to yourself. You've had a couple drinks. But that's okay. Because you're going to be famous after this. No one's ever really had a chance to study this because it does take so long for this to come about. And maybe every 1,000 years, every millennia or so. So this is a big deal. You're very excited. And you're climbing right now the highest peak near where you study. And it's, you know, it's up a ways. The mountains in the south are pretty big. And you're very proud of yourself. You know, the people down at the lake are never gonna live this one down. When they find out Anara the astronomer climbed all the way up here and saw the convergence firsthand. First person to do so in a millennium. And you climb and you're doing great. You know, it's exhausting work and you're sweating and you've got some bumps and scrapes and cuts and bruises, but hey, you're an R. Right?
Yeah, what are some scrapes on the way to glory? Let's go.
Exactly, you're dedicated. And you ascend higher and higher. And you reach that top. And you sit down squarely. Once you get up as high as you're willing to go anyway. Probably get a little higher, but let's not be silly. The sky's, the sky. And you sit down and you pull your bottle out and you have a couple more drinks of that rich, deep burgundy wine and look up and the clouds part. They part just as you lean back. You're shivering, you're cold, but take another drink. Hey, that'll nip that right in the bud, right? Not feeling anything now.
Thin up here too, yeah.
Exactly. And you see it. You see it. You look up, you see it. You see the mother's head. And you see the unbelievable sight of several other celestial bodies in the distance beyond the mother's head, aligning in a perfect convergence, almost a perfect line. And you can't help but wonder if these are maybe the remnants of the goddess they got left behind, or other gods, or other worlds even. Your imagination sparks and goes all over. What could this be? This is amazing. And your excitement, you take another drink and another, and you cheer and you sing a song, and you take another drink and another and another, and you're so excited. There's just tears streaming down your face, but you're a little inebriated. You don't notice how cold it really is. You don't notice that the tears freeze before they ever fall from your cheeks. You don't notice as your eyes close in this exultation of joy that you're feeling with your discovery. You don't notice as the darkness claims you and you slip away quietly, a smile on your lips. And you're back.
That's gotta be really surreal. Seeing. Wait a minute. Okay, so I'm Anara, I'm looking up. I see the mother's head and several other celestial bodies aligning with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I see the mother's head because I'm not standing on it.
That's correct. All of these people died on Cairn.
On Cairn, some of them were pre-blight.
But all of them.
And they were transported to the mother's head?
Mm-hmm. As part of their
We knew
afterlife.
that, right? We knew that, didn't we?
Well, I mean, some of you would have.
The Cairnites would have known.
Yeah. Well, those who were familiar with religion.
So that's scholars, time travelers, and the very old.
So, the celestial bodies that Genesis is seeing as Anara,
Mm-hmm.
those are the pre-blight ones.
Yeah, you guys don't do much stargazing anymore.
It's just,
And like, except for maybe the Colvart.
I like to think it's just like a murky darkness out there because everything is just,
It's pretty constant cloud cover.
That's wild getting to see that much. Being able to see that far out.
Yeah.
Seeing what the air, the mountain air feels like.
It's clean.
And I imagine the trees would be mind-boggling too, just like the number of them in the mountains, mountainous
Forests.
regions.
Yeah, you've had a few forest experiences.
That was a sea of wealth.
If only I could mine.
Genesis is just
and-
mind-boggled by that, and takes a second to think about how insane that was. That was insane. But you know, the bus tour stops for no one, so we'll continue.
Oh, I believe there's only one left. Yeah?
I believe so.
Yeah, this should be the last one. This is the one Bryn was looking at.
The Weaver.
Yeah, the young woman with delicate features, wrapped in a finely woven shawl, hands still holding on to a mass of thread and the hooks used for weaving. Do you do the touchy?
Istu is gonna do this one.
Okay. As before, a shiver runs through you, and suddenly you are Lila. And you don't like this. You don't like your gift. You don't like this ability that was handed down to you from generation to generation. Your mother to your grandmother to your great grandmother, etc., etc., etc. But it's your duty. And you are good at it. Weaving these tapestries. These tapestries that are imbued with magic. And imbued with not just any magic, but with Bolri's magic. You weave the tapestries within the priesthood that adorn the temples, the holy places, the spots on the road where travelers may rest and trade wares, gifts to be given to strangers, each one of them a unique, beautiful, beautiful scene of Volri's winter. The vivid blues and whites, the cresting of snow-capped mountains, and the deep blanket of gentle snows upon treetops, each detail your nimble fingers can pick out. And all you need is one more die to complete this one. Quite possibly your masterwork. You just gotta go out and get this.
Can I interject that the dye was like a midnight blue dye?
Well, this is a frost fern. You have to go find it.
Okay.
It's a frost fern. I'll let you imagine whatever color you like, though.
'Cause I'm thinking of the ink that Genesis found downstairs. I'm thinking of that same sort of a
Okay,
blue,
that's fine.
like a dark blue.
Yeah, that works. But you
Irony.
you go out into the wilderness, and much like your tapestries, almost out of nowhere, the wind picks up, and you are overtaken. It almost bowls you over. Your small frame just nearly tossed around by the wind. The snow begins to pelt you unrelentlessly, knocking you over.
Even in these visions, I can escape the low strength scoring.
Mm.
Oh no! Sorry.
That's all right. But yeah, you turned around and you're like, well, I gotta get back. This is terrible. The frost fern can wait. I'll have somebody else go get it. And you start trudging back and kind of lose your sense of direction. And, no, it's this way. You start trudging that way and wait, no, that's not right. That tree wasn't there. It's this way. And then before long, you are lost and you're cold and you're kicking yourself. But it's funny in its own right. I mean, this tradition that you're really just kind of bored with, handed down from generation to generation. And you look down and you see the unfinished work kind of bundled into the sack at your side, and you pull it out, you brush your fingers over it, wipe the snow off, shivering. And you think for a minute, I could wrap this around myself and maybe gain a few minutes. But I guess this really is sacred. And you say a prayer for a moment. A simple, quiet prayer. One that just apologizes for not finishing this. And asks for just a little more time on the road. And you feel this almost comforting hand on your shoulder. You look and nothing's there, but you could swear you feel it. And you lovingly clutch his creation as you settle down and slowly fade into darkness.
That's one that I picked the wrong one for.
The wrong one.
It's dude's like, okay, but if you didn't want to do it, just don't do it. Like,
Classic is too.
like, gotta set some boundaries, girl.
So, so with this complete circle being done, Jimmy,
Yes.
actually, any of you guys who want to, if you want to, you may give me a perception check. Only if you want to. It's not mandatory.
I love making perception checks.
Bran.
Bit clueless today. But also, natural ones don't count with ability checks, so, you know, just take that
Perception?
16.
Yeah. You still wore us. You still got a 16.
Perception. Perception. We're gonna do that again. Nice.
That's some numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And then, character sheet here.
Ooh, is Wilhelm rolling? Oh,
Now there's some damn numbers.
Hey.
Wilhelm saw
Yeah,
into,
Wilhelm's rolling.
he saw into
Nice.
tomorrow.
Cinder looks around like, what are we looking at?
So baseline I'm looking for is 20 here. So we got Jimmy, Genesis, and Wilhelm.
Istu's is a 23,
Is it?
and with the +5, Is that saves only?
Saves only.
Yeah.
Dang.
So, the three of you, though, as this circle completes, all of these experiences have been had. You notice the symbols along the base of the large statue have begun to glow very softly, very, very faintly. You almost could miss it. In fact, it's hard to see because of the way the light reflects off the ice to begin with. But you can barely see it. They're glowing. 8 specific symbols around the base of the statue.
Are these legible symbols or merely arcane symbols?
Sigils, more like. They don't have an arcane or a practical purpose that you know of.
Did they look similar to any of the other symbols that we've seen before in this place?
Not really.
I step up onto the rim again and listen carefully.
You hear the whispers still. They haven't changed, though.
Step back. I think you four might have been charging something up.
Well, I'm gonna move away from these. And try to figure out what's going on with these symbols.
Okay. They're harder to see from way over there.
Well, you know, I just don't want to be
Exploded.
near field of a... Yeah, I'm so squishy, so I just want to take precautions.
I've made everyone nervous. I understand. It's my fault.
You know,
It's
there's
powered
like
up now. I didn't think it was
traps
going
and
to turn on something, you know? I'm just gonna...
I'm sure it's fine.
I will examine the sigils more closely.
Okay.
I'll cheer you on from over here.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
The thing that I am specifically looking for, are there only 8 that appear to be of significance, or are there some that are not glowing that are still present?
Well, if you remember the, where is it? Yeah, the indentations, they do have several, like, intricate symbols or runes. It's just the 8 main ones, though. The rest appear to be more, like, just decorative carving.
Part of the tapestry of life.
Exactly.
I look at them. I look up into Volry's hooded face.
Mm-hmm.
I look over at the Istus and Genesis and Cinder. I gesture at the Volry statue and I say, would you care to engage with the mystery? I dare say you've earned it.
You're doing great.
I don't know, man. That seems risky.
Well, yes. You don't solve a mystery without a little risk.
What would I presume to learn by touching the statue in the center?
What did you learn by touching the others?
You know, I feel like I should have learned more than I did, but I just, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's right in front of my face, but I'm just not understanding it.
From the good doctor's comments, I assume you saw the last moments.
Yes.
The lady had last moments.
The question is, do I deserve to see them?
Jimmy shrugs. If there is a ritual here, you've completed it. You are inducted into the mysteries. Hell, you've braved the labyrinth. Congratulations. Welcome to heaven.
I just think that if anyone were going to witness those moments, it would be someone who revered Volri at some stage of life. Like, I'm not with the whole god worship stuff. You know, Ventrites, we don't really do that. So it would kind of be lost on me.
Jimmy tilts his head and thinks for a second. I'm not so sure. Actually, maybe you'd be one of the few people here who can really observe it with a dispassionate eye. If there's any crucial detail available, I'm not sure I'd be able to pay attention to it. It would be a little bit, you know, rough. Still, if you don't want to, you don't want to.
Don't be scared.
I don't know. I just don't really. I want to figure this out, but I don't really have an interest in what. I don't know if there's a way to express this. I don't really. I don't know Volri, right?
Jimmy puts his hand over his heart. I appreciate your concern. Nobody here knew Volri. There is a difference between what I did and knowing a goddess. I'm not actually sure that's possible. He looks over at the big man. Well, I mean, maybe for some of us. He's a special case.
Yeah, maybe that should be the person that touches a god, right? These are people, right? We've established these are people, not just ice sculptures. They're human beings who, at a last moment of their very finite lives, their various different means, different ends. I can work on the people level, but if I reach over and touch a god, that's a line that I have yet to cross.
Oh, don't worry. She's not in there.
Still,
You could argue that wasn't really her upstairs.
I didn't touch Signifei. I didn't touch Shaw. Don't think I should be touching this one.
I thought you were
Especially since the last one, you know.
I thought you were the official toucher.
I was of the people, of the human beings that can't
So you only
rise from the dead and strike me.
you only touch people. Okay.
I mean, listen,
Remarkably confident of a care knight to say that the dead cannot rise up and strike you.
I can strike them back.
This is
Though.
true.
It's a person. It's a person-to-person level. There's a difference between like the deities, like the trap upstairs that you walked on. That one was wild, and if this is going to be equally wild, it's probably going to be wilder because it's colder here. It's darker. We've gone down a level. It's going to be worse if there's something there to spring, and I am squishy. I refer you to my squishy references. There's many times I've almost died in this.
Was anyone going to touch anything?
I will touch it.
Oh, somebody clip that.
The tone.
Hey, you barely got any of your blood left in you.
Stop trying to die. Stop it.
You wouldn't even take a second potion.
We gotta convince Wilhelm to stay alive. Keep Wilhelm alive.
Listen. He puts his hand on your shoulder. Give it a good examination from back here. You tell me what you think about it. I'll do the touching. I have a slightly better chance of surviving it than you do right now.
Yes, but if you are correct, and that is part of the spirit of Ulri, then that might be something I can interact with. But first, Church, do I see any spirit in it like I felt with the others?
You do not. Not at all.
Alright, you make a good case, but if this one takes you out, you're taking 2 potions.
It does not appear to have the spirit in it.
Jimmy nods. The last spirit of the lady that probably exists anywhere, we saw upstairs, and she faded.
Perhaps I can touch the statue without touching the sigils. I don't know if that would cause it to react.
Jimmy will kneel down and try and get a vibe on whether these things will explode if touched. Magic, divine magic that they are, that's probably going to be difficult.
Okay. Are we doing it? Touchy, touchy,
I
touchy.
am going to. I'm gonna go around to the back, so I'm not at the face of it.
Okay, so you want to touch her while she's not looking. Okay.
Touch her from the back, not the sigils.
I do
Touch the
feel
statue.
I do feel that this is going to be problematic at some point. I don't know. I
Touch
feel
it,
like if you take that out of context, it can be really dicey.
but touching
It
it from
is.
the back.
Please don't cut these out. Okay. Power question.
Okay.
My psychomancy. When I'm reading an item, do my gloves seem to impact it?
Yeah, they do need to be skin on skin. Or
Okay.
skin on object.
I'm gonna try to use that on the statue. From the back. Not near a sigil.
Not near a sigil?
Yes, not near one.
Okay, you get nothing. So if it's never been touched.
Okay. So good news. I think you have to. I tried to get a read on the item and couldn't. I don't. It looks like the only way to actually interact with it is to touch the glowing mark. I feel like I was hoping to get a read on it before we did. I am still prepared to. You know what? Let me do something first for all of us, and then we can try.
You know, you could just circle around it and each do one. There's 8 of you.
I would like to see if I can get people huddled up.
Are there 8 of us?
Well, 9 if you count the IS-2.
10.
10. Well, 10 if you count the food dog.
It was 10 before Pohan joined us. That was the...
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh yeah, you're right. I miscounted.
Well, a lot of things say, like, you and 8 other people, which I'd be fine with. Like, I have to leave with the, what is it specifically, that one spell that I keep casting?
Fortune's favor.
The mind thing? Rory's telepathic bond, specifically.
Oh, the crazy one. Yeah.
The crazy one.
This one, it says up to 8 willing creatures, so I had to choose to leave a couple people out of that.
2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, that's who I'm missing on the overlay. It's Uki. Okay. I was counting on the overlay. That's why I got it wrong. Okay.
And Cinder. Like,
The Cinder's up there. Just Uki. So, what are we doing? What are we doing?
oh god, I feel like I should be able
You don't
to-
have to
I
touch
know.
it. You don't. Nothing's forcing you to.
Before we do this, Church,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to get everyone into a group, huddled up.
Okay. Looks like everyone's kind of.
Okay. I just want to make sure. And I pull out my hand mister.
Okay.
And I am going to burn all 4 of my herbs to heal everyone.
Okay. All 4 of your herbs to heal everyone.
Yeah.
Uh,
This plus 8. So 23 hit points.
There you go. Everybody heals for 23. Except the mist freezes and everyone dies. No, I'm just kidding.
That is all I've got.
I'm gonna quit messing
Healing
with
Hopefully.
herb Dippin' Dots.
you. Yeah.
I don't
The
know if
freeze
something
dried
happened
candy.
to my-
Right, so explain something to me here.
Okay.
Not you.
Oh.
You're saying that when you touch the statues, you relived somebody's last moment?
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's the goddess.
Mhm.
Well, I need to know what I'm up against.
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I don't know. It's risky.
I was gonna go touch it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go touch it.
I do just want to do one little quick bookkeeping thing, if possible.
Okay.
I don't know what happened in my character sheet.
Which one?
Well, let me see if it happened to Cinder too. No, Cinder's damage is still there. Okay, so I know I'm gonna have to fix this later.
It's alright. No rush. We're good. You're not in a fight right now or anything yet.
Okay, just know that I didn't put everybody at full health. I
Okay.
don't know what happened.
It's
I have
all
to
good.
track.
It's all good. We'll work it out. You're not in any fight right now. Plus, you just got 23 hit points.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
I feel like I was pretty low. Maybe I'm around 40, 50-ish
You
now?
have 2. It's fine.
Yeah. I did almost die, right? Well, sorry.
No, you're good.
Uh,
All right.
Az is...
Az, what are you touching? Get to touching.
Her hands?
You can climb up on the statue and touch her hands?
Is it that big? It's that big, isn't it?
Yes, it's
I
very
can't,
big.
like...
You could fit in the palm of her hand.
Oh. That sounds really kind of disrespectful to climb the statue, especially after I've been saying don't touch the art.
Yeah, well, the glowing runes are around the base of it.
Okay.
That's what got everyone fascinated.
So do I have to stand on the rune to touch the sculpture?
You can just walk up.
Alright, I'll try that.
Okay. You walk up. What are you touching? The rune or just the sculpture? Or
both with the foot and the hand.
Okay. All right. So when you make contact with the rune, it lights up and illuminates the ice statue in front of it.
Stuff's lighting up. I'm getting out of there. Oh. Evasive maneuvers.
What starts to light up? Like just the kind of like the spotlight on the statue, kind
Yeah,
of.
there's like a rune at the base, and it lights like a little ray of light down to the ice statue in front of it.
Saoirse will go do the one for the musician and touch that.
Okay, same thing.
Well, I guess we're doing this.
At least I healed beforehand.
Hey, try standing on the glowy spots.
Listen, it's probably for the best that you know who you're getting involved with first. So, Jimmy then touches the statue on the right-hand side.
Wilhelm will join in as well.
Okay.
Do the final moments play out again, or is the statue now drained of its memories?
Are you touching the ice statue?
Yes, he wanted to know what he was getting involved with before he stood on a sigil, basically.
It would take you through the same journey.
Right. Who was this over here on the eastern side?
Which one? This one?
Yeah.
That was the stargazer, the astronomer.
He comes back out and he says,
I'm alright.
Mm-hmm.
the good old stars. Plunk.
Okay.
So that's what happened to Stone Chammer. Shackle.
All right. Is that everyone touching one? Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh God. Okay.
Working on it.
How many people do we have over there?
We just need 8.
We'll send one of the S2s over
Okay. Same thing.
to touch the rune that is. Let me just check my notes here. The one S2 would have been the sorcerer. So we'll move to the sorcerer's runestone and touch it.
Okay. Same thing. Pew. So basically, are we going to go around and do all 8, just to save time?
I think eventually, but I don't want to be the person to touch the last one.
Okay. Well, I'm going to save you a little time and hassle. When you finally light up the 8th one, the entire huge statue shifts slightly to the north, revealing beneath it a hidden compartment.
What's in there?
What?
Can I look? Or...
Yeah, what you got in there, Church?
Looking into the compartment, you've seen a singular small plinth of ice at the very bottom, resting atop of which is a large tome.
A tome, you say? Does it have the same markings as
Sure, I get the right one
other?
here.
And I can't read those.
Oh, we get a picture of a book?
I think so. I gotta find the right one.
Interesting.
It's not that one. It is this one. Yeah. Boom.
Hey.
So Bryn's looking at this, and Bryn obviously has permanent tongues on at all times because of that spare bone pendant.
Mm-hmm.
What does it say?
You'd have to actually get in there to read it.
Is the name of this song "Where's My Foot"?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
It is. Where is my foot? We've all been there.
This is great. Where's my foot? And I lost my glasses. Names I can actually say in one breath. Nice. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Well, I shift off of the sigil. Does the statue, you know?
No, it
see-
doesn't.
Okay.
It's lit up.
All right.
I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna get off in there and see what's this thing? What's up?
Okay. You jump
Everybody
down.
lean around the hole.
You jump down and disintegrate. No, I'm just kidding.
For glory!
We're all a little spooked from the last level.
Let's fucking go.
It's all good. So, you approach the glowing tome. You can feel power radiating off of it. Is this who is down there? Is two or? Is two, okay. Give me an Arcana check, please.
Just get the right sheet. Arcana. Okay. Normal. Arcana. Not good at that. Let's see how that goes. 20. I almost want to try that again. See if it's not gonna be good enough.
It's your call.
It's a decent roll.
Yeah, 20 is not terrible. It's up to you, though.
I might as well, right?
Yeah.
Nah. Yeah, nah.
Go with the first
Nah,
one.
yeah. Nah.
Nah, yeah. We'll go with the 20.
Okay. You flip through the pages, and you realize that what you're looking at is a very ancient, divine rite that would have been presented only to the highest echelon of the priesthood within Volry's order. And what this does is, if you can complete the rite within these pages, it will grant you unparalleled mastery over ice and cold.
And the right within the pages would be
It's a ritual.
a ritual that I can't read because I don't know the exact details, right? Or
It's magical writing. It's
oh, okay.
Do you want to take it?
Is this mastery something that I could learn?
If you can complete the ritual.
What does it say about starting it and not being able to finish it?
Just that you will find yourself ensnared in the icy tendrils of Volry's influence, forever bound to the eternal winter that she commands. Nothing serious.
Boilerplate stuff, really. It's in every end-user license agreement.
I mean,
So
it's a sort of like, a goddess's magic here, right? Like, of course you're gonna, be in service of a goddess if you complete, a ritual. I mean...
Oh no, this is if you fail.
Oh.
If you fail.
does taking it begin the ritual?
No. Would you like to take it? Would you like to lift the book off the small pedestal of ice underneath the giant statue of Volry? I put it that way just to make you nervous. Did it work?
Yeah. I don't know if it's a good idea because it might just slide and close me in here.
I need to start making this stuff sound innocuous and innocent, huh?
Yeah, let
I
me
mean,
help
if you
out.
started now, that would be more suspicious.
Jimmy hops down into the pit.
Okay.
Can you?
I
is there any sort of-
got you. I got you. Don't worry. I check the plinth for a weight trap.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Give me your investigation roll. My poor players all have PTSD. It's terrible. You find nothing out of the ordinary, aside from it being out of the ordinary. But
Yep. Solid block of ice. Honestly, the book's probably more dangerous. What's that say? Jimmy looks at it.
I explained to Jimmy when it talks about like the ritual and so forth, and my concern after I explain this is that if I pick it up, that I've done something that Follery would consider a start of sorts. You know, if anybody should be completing the rite of a royal priest, I would think it would be somebody who would understand somewhat of what Follery is, and I don't know if that's me. But, you know, it's useful knowledge, right? We can use everything we can get.
I flip the book open on its plinth and go through a couple of pages. Is it legible to me?
no, it's arcane script.
I'll like point like this is this, that is that. But then,
Oh,
of
that's
course,
helpful.
You already told that stuff.
B.
As we flip through it down there, are we able to put together what the rite is, Church?
It's lengthy. It's lengthy. It's nothing you're gonna do in a long rest or anything.
Okay, but I understand it would take a long time to complete. I just want to get the broad outlines of what it's asking for.
It's
Is
complicated.
it something that we must quest to complete,
It's
or
very.
is it more of a magical ritual that we conduct?
It's you would have to go. Well, you would have to be in a holy place to conduct it.
We are in the holiest place.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the biggest primary things. But it is a very lengthy, drawn-out, complex ritual. It takes an entire book to explain it.
Okay. So here's my curiosity, right? He says this to Istu while they're down in there thinking. This is a high magic of Volry. Presumably, it would draw its power from her and grant it to you. This would be the source of a blessing. You would be empowered by the lady.
Not necessarily in the way you're thinking of it. It might not be an immediate, like, present tense. This is the power that Volry grants to you now. Like, Volry needs to be alive to give it. Because I can sit here right now and hand you a thunder wave, and you can use it in an hour.
Wow, really?
Yeah. We'll put a pin in that for later. But
Okay, I
it was
see what you're
something
getting.
that Rat and I
see what
have
you're
actually
getting
talked about quite extensively, using delayed release firearms and stuff. But yeah, magic can be stored, and if I can do it at that level, then a god can certainly store a battery for.
Oh yeah,
however
with
long.
everything we've been picking up, it's for damn sure that they could make it to last.
Mhm.
It's just the only question, I guess, is it worth finding out? Because if it is expecting a real living power on the other end, I do not want to meet what would pick up that phone now.
Hey, what's in the hall?
A magic
So
book.
Yeah, it's like a priesthood rite of Volry. If you wanna, I don't know if you wanna check it out.
You know what?
You're the
We'll bring it up to you. Don't worry. Jimmy flips it back closed.
well, we. I don't wanna
Here's the
know.
here's the secret. Here's the secret, Istu. Your whole life is a ritual to Volry. If there was anything that I started a long time ago. The first step on the road, he picks up the book.
You pick up the book, and you immediately notice underneath on the surface of the pedestal, also almost as if it's just carved directly into the ice, are the words, "You will know her when you do."
Yes, I will, lady. Yes, I will.
That was for you. Because if I'm not mistaken, the vision of Volry that appeared before said those exact words to you.
Goddess
Am I
of
mistaken?
mysteries.
I'm not mistaken, am I?
No, you got it right.
Okay.
She
See,
said
this
that
is
out
one of those
loud to
mysteries
all of us,
things.
so
But nothing happens.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of this hole here.
Yeah, let's get out of the hole.
Yeah. My recollection of that was pretty shaky because I just had my notes to rely on for that.
It's to go
No,
down
you
the
got it totally
hole.
right. So Jimmy jumps on out with his boots of striding and springing.
Spring.
Makes it very
Go
easy.
back over here and collect these guys.
All right.
He summons everybody around. Says, "All right, everybody, come have a look. I'm sure you're interested.
Ooh. Is it platinum?
Worth substantially more, probably less digestible. Here, one sec, I got you though." He reaches down into his pack. He pulls out another gold bar. Yep. Have one of these. It's better for your stomach.
Oh. Gold parts. All right.
I like to think that gold is more of a digestive aid. Platinum is rich, you know. It's like
True. It's true.
it's fatty. Gold is nice and cleansing.
Silver's like popping Tums.
Jimmy flips open the book and he you know, allows everybody to have a good look at it. You know, the many learned casters before him get their chance to examine it.
Oh, this looks like the kind of similar to the ritual that I went through, like, oh shit, what was that, like 600 years ago? Become a champion of Shah. Similar, kind of, but different because, like, not Shah.
The ways of winter are somewhat more harsh. Does it make me a hopeless romantic to think that there should probably be one last champion of Volry left, walking around down here?
I don't really think so, but that's just me.
I'd like to meet that person.
Have to become him first.
You owe me a friendly game of fisticuffs if you do.
Big man, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty confident in myself in a scrap.
No, don't
I
worry,
don't think I could take you.
We'll do it unarmed. Just it'll be fun for training and sparring lessons. You might learn something.
Oh, that I have no doubt about.
I saw how you swung that sword around. Who taught you how to do that?
Jimmy goes quiet for a second. Depends on who you ask.
No, I mean really though. Like, who is your weapons master? Because, gosh, you swing that thing around like a child.
That sounds about right. I was a kid when I learned.
From this.
You didn't get out to the Becked cities much, did you?
Once or twice.
Fair enough. So you probably didn't get too much into the seedier parts of town.
You hear this muffled sound from your sheath. See, I told you should have let me take over.
When I was a young man, there was just one dwarves, for one thing. They were just the dwarves. And when they got exiled from their mountain homes, they would come set up in the human cities, often or not. Plenty of them would go into honorable trades, masonry, forge work. the sorts of things that they would have done anyways, but no small number of them would set up with a mob. Very good at tunneling, you see. I worked for one. Got me off the street for the first time, which was nice. Their weapons master, well, mistress, was not too picky about how you got the job done.
Well, once your hands are feeling better, let me know if you want a little lesson. Maybe teach you a thing or two.
Big man, I'll take you up on it. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Are we moving on or staying within?
Should maybe ask for permission to do what you're gonna do with that book while you're here.
Oh, don't worry.
It would be respectful.
A message was left. But you know what? The proper rituals must be observed. I take a knee before the statue. Once again, I draw the stalwart wall and I lay it horizontal in front of me. I bow my head a moment in a quiet prayer.
Okay.
I don't suppose anything comes to me in that moment.
No.
The clearest vision of a goddess I'm likely to receive, I have already had.
You did get a pretty good one.
Yeah, no. Better than I ever expected. But,
Almost as good as meeting her directly.
Yeah.
yes. But it's a good moment to reflect on whether it makes sense to do the thing that I am considering at this time. Does it make sense to be the champion of a dead goddess?
Worked out pretty well for me.
Well, now here's the thing. This is gonna go much more into the realm of a personal. Like, do you feel, with the life you've led, and your shown dedication and ability, that you are worthy to be that? Personal decision, you know.
It's a real question.
There's no rush. It's something you can consider.
Mm.
Like I said, the ritual is something that will take time.
Yes. In this moment, since we're probably about to wrap up for the evening anyways, I could take a moment to think about it here.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy thinks that there's no one who has survived who is more qualified. Were this back in the old day? Sure. There were many more devout worshippers of Volri than he.
Mm-hmm. Like Sasha.
But
Banks.
it's just not the old days anymore.
It's true.
There's nobody left, and there's still a duty to fulfill.
Wait until Jimmy finds out what happens to Volri.
He's
If
got-
we
he's-
ever learn that.
We got a bit of an idea. But
Some idea. Few ideas.
certainly, his credentials as to the road and mysteries, second to none.
He has seen a lot of road.
Very few Cairnites could claim to have traveled as far as he.
If any. Aside from maybe Draken.
Just Draken, he's now spoken for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Out of character, Jimmy ends up a devotee of Concordia Demanda.
See, there's the trick, is he doesn't know what's on the other end of the book. But, you know, if he rings the number and somebody else picks up, at least he can yell at him for a while.
Yeah. This is not a party line. Get off the phone.
Speaking of party lines, we completely skipped over the fact that somebody was listening in on the mind meld we had going.
I didn't want to think about that, but you're right.
Mm,
Problems are coming.
that's down by now, right?
I suppose, yeah.
Okay. That's down. The tongues is down.
So, before we close out, would you guys like to traverse to the next chamber, or do you want to stay here? It's your call.
I think
Wanna
let's.
go.
I want to go ahead
wanna
and
go.
see the next chamber. At least get kind of an intro.
Okay.
Yeah, hit us with it, bro.
I
Sounds
definitely
good.
wanna go. All for me. We're going downstairs again?
We don't want to go back the other way. It wasn't looking good.
You can go down the other way if you would like to. I don't mind.
That's just like the dark void over there and the encroaching cold spindles. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I like this. There's a pool. Let's go.
There's a bathtub. I haven't had one of those in forever.
So as you step onto this level through the grand archway adorned with intricate carvings depicting scenes of travel and exploration, a sense of calm washes over you, permeating the air with a quiet serenity. The chamber is bathed in a soft, ethereal light that filters through stained glass windows, casting colorful patterns on the stone floor, upon which slowly pulses a shimmering pool of blue light, slowly whirling and casting strange light and shadows across the room. Within, images shift and change before your eyes as various vistas from the world below play out in brief moments before morphing into a new one. Tapestries line the walls, depicting the solitary journey of the traveler, each step illuminated by the guiding light of the raven, the symbol of Volri's guidance and protection. The atmosphere is one of introspection and contemplation, inviting visitors to seek solace and guidance in the silence of the sanctuary.
Now Genesis is like, yeah, this is heaven.
But yes, so this is your next room.
How nice.
Solace, peace, quiet. What?
Nothing's immediately trying to kill you.
Oh, thank fuck! I haven't had a spa day in 250 years.
So, do you guys want to call it there, or do you want to keep going? It's your call.
I want to
call
keep
it.
going for at least 5 more minutes. Jeez.
Yeah, we can do our 5 minutes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
We should probably get set up for a long rest.
Yeah, this is a good spot for it.
Okay. You want to do a long rest here?
I could do some ritualistic casting and we could really settle in, like, use that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys,
Let's have a long rest.
I will allow a long rest uninterrupted. Nothing is going to interrupt you right here, at least for right now, unless you guys start monkeying with stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying something will if you monkey with stuff, but monkey
But we have
with
to
stuff.
find out.
Yeah. There is that other half of the, messing around.
Yes.
Finding out, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I will allow a long rest. That's no problem. You guys can do whatever you need to do during that long rest, uninterrupted. I hope that... I think we only did the one chamber this night. The other ones went kind of quick, and then you guys took your time. There was a lot in that one. I hope that wasn't boring. I hope that was interesting. I know there was a lot of little stories in there.
It was fun.
I
They were
like the
good.
stories.
Good. I hope they were interesting and not generic or boring.
I thought you had a pretty good hand on them.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Good deal. As long as you guys are having fun, that's the main thing, as always. We are, God, we're making tremendous progress. I think I told you how many levels there are.
7, I think.
Yeah, so but including this one, there's 3 more levels to go through. So like I said, you guys are actually making really good progress. No one has died. You found a couple very powerful artifacts. Are you going to identify the 2 items you did manage to snake out of the library?
I plan to. But I do wonder, are we gonna long rest and then immediately pack up and go, or is there enough time for me to possibly recast Simulacrum from the time that
Well,
second is due?
that's up to you. You guys.
I don't plan on taking off immediately. For one thing, we haven't even explored this room yet. So.
Yeah, that
Right.
sounds like you'll have time.
Yeah, I'll have this to be doing that and get back from the.
Well, if you guys are going to identify it, I'll give you what they are really quickly.
Yeah.
Do you care if I just post them? Or do you want them to be big secrets?
I would
No, go
rather
ahead.
have mine be a secret. If I have one, maybe I don't. You know.
Well, well, I think everyone saw you pick the crystal up off the floor.
If the crystal is one of them, yeah. Then...
Yeah. So I'll send that to you privately.
Cool.
Including the potential negative that can come with it.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
as you don't care, I just post yours, right?
Yeah, I don't care. It's fine. I found a quill. It probably wrote the book.
I will put this just in Karen chat. Here you go.
Oh, this makes so much more sense now. Oh my god.
The Secrets Quill.
Interesting.
That's a
So-
really fun quill.
So I
The
want
auto
to.
notator.
So
Yeah.
I want to work on the simulacrum. I also want to have Genesis continue with the side project.
Okay. Now, I will say, you guys, there were 20 magic items in that library.
Yeah, but we really didn't like that curse.
We could have rolled all of us to see what we found, but you
We had
guys.
time.
Saoirse had to touch the butt.
Jimmy takes a very particular stance on this, and if it keeps him from getting some magic items, so be it.
The Eternal Frostblade would have been a good find.
That would have been
that
pretty
would've
sick
been
for
fun.
that ass-looking guy.
It does.
No, that would have been. That's a Jimmy weapon.
It freezes enemies on a crit.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
that's
I am curious about like the magic items that we didn't find,
Mhm.
so I wouldn't mind hearing about them.
Well, yeah. There was the Frostbound Grimoire, the Nomad's Compass.
Smiles a wizard.
Whispering Crystal,
Oh, that sounds so cool.
the Wanderer's Cloak, the Frostfire Lantern, a collection of scrolls called the Chronicles of the Frostbound Wanderer,
Things to read and I didn't get them?
No.
the Snowfall Scepter, the Eternal Frostblade, Winter's Veil Robes, the Frozen Star Amulet, the Cloak of the Traveler, the Map of Forgotten Roads, the Tome of Stranger Lore, and the Ethereal Compass, the Mask of the Veiled Wanderer, the Snowflake Pendant, the Key to the Frost Gate, and the Crystal Ball of Traveler's Vision.
Ooh.
And then, of course,
Yeah.
the Hourglass of Arctwind itself, which was an artifact.
Yeah. But on the other hand, Unraveling Curse.
I I know, that thing is horrifying, isn't it?
God.
Yeah, I'm now contemplating who would have lived through that. As would have tanked it.
Well, for a minute.
Cinder might have tanked it. How much health does Cinder have?
The thing is tanking it long enough to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then having somebody who can get rid of it.
Plus unraveling the whole time, fleshly.
Not fun.
Yeah, because the thing is like, you know, Bryn had already used her magic that she could have used to get rid of it on herself.
I mean, you guys could always try and go back.
No.
No, backwards is death. We understand this. Jimmy knows this at a spiritual level.
So
We could always send an emissary, though.
I have to ask, there's no chance you guys will go back at this point?
No.
I mean,
Like,
I don't
feel
think
like
anything
we
could persuade Jimmy to do so.
We could send one of the Istus, the fake one, back as an emissary and see if it can survive long enough to.
Well, you remember when you came through into the winter chamber and the way beyond was suddenly black?
Mm-hmm.
Going through that door will lead you back into the labyrinth randomly.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy knows this at a spiritual level. You do not turn around on the road. You have to keep pressing forward.
That's right.
Yeah, we keep seeing things change, so.
But yeah, I was waiting to see if anyone was going to try and step through it.
Never.
You're back
While
in
we're
the
long
last one.
resting, though, Jimmy will recruit the assistance of his various arcane friends to begin making a dent in this Enigma Codex.
Okay. I'll let you start working out the ritual. Beginning, it's gonna actually doing the ritual is gonna have to be set up and.
Yeah. We gotta understand
Yeah.
it first, right?
Yeah,
This is of great significance.
Yeah. No, that's not a problem. Do you guys like this room? I thought it turned out really cool looking.
I like it.
It looks really fun.
It's
Especially love the
reassuring.
Yeah. I had a lot of fun making the spire, I'm not gonna lie. I haven't done a real crazy map for you guys in a while. Kind of like the old Whispering Gale days with the full isometric animated map.
Yeah. Got all these warm colors with the warm flicker of firelight, then the cool, serene blue pool in the center. It's just nice.
Yeah.
Glowing and calm.
And the spire has been interesting, I hope.
Yes.
Good. A few more levels. That's it. And then we get to
We moving.
no, that's not how you say that. Move on.
There you go.
I mean, with what you were about to say, who I think we're going to meet is right. Yeah, I don't think he is going to let us move on without the sacrifice of a soul.
Oh, little Concordia Demondia. He's lovely.
He's also vying for godhood and needs like many, 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 many souls to do that.
He is gathering. He's got a good head start. But yeah, we will see. We will see what awaits at the top of the spire. It's all right. You guys have a little time to plan. I'm curious. We may, like I said last time, we went through what, like 3 levels?
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, even with the traps that went off and everything. So you never know. You guys might fly through the rest of this. Because the last one, the stories took a lot of time, I know. But we will see. I'm very curious. I've still got some things up my sleeve here and there. But yeah, we will call it for tonight. I had a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this. I can't wait till the next session to see where this goes. Glad you guys are here with me. Stay tuned. I think we're still doing Storm King's Thunder on Wednesdays. Chance, Shun, McLovin, and I have been doing loads of hunt streams. Those are always a good laugh. The hooker hoedowns, as Muse likes to call them. Definitely come check those out. Join us on Discord if you get the chance, and come have fun with us. And we'll see you very, very soon. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.